Hello, students. Welcome to Reader's Workshop. Yesterday, we started zooming in on words, making sure that we're checking all the way to the end of the word from tip to tail, and we started talking about common word endings like ing, ed, er, s, and es. Today, we're going to start zooming in on ed ending. Words with ed ending are so interesting and sometimes a little tricky because they can sound different ways. In the word stayed, ed sounds like d. In the word stopped, ed sounds like t sound. In the word started, it sounds like id, like short I, right? Not like e, like short I. Id, started. So today we're going to enjoy looking at some words that end with ed and paying attention to whether they sound like d, t, or id. For starters, we're going to look at some sentences. Here we go. I saw a bear. I stopped walking. I stayed very still. Then I slowly started to back away. I'm going to put this on my clipboard and we're going to highlight the ed endings and then notice what they sound like. So, I saw a bear. Ooh, I better give it some oomph. I saw a bear. I stopped. Oh, here's ed ending. So I'm going to highlight it. I know there's ed ending. Stopped walking. What does that sound like? T, right. So I'm just going to write a little T up there. I stopped walking. I stayed. Oh, there's another ed ending. I stayed very still. So there it sounds like d. Then I slowly started. Oh, there's the ed ending here. And what does it sound like? Then I slowly started, id, oh, it sounds like short I and D, started to back away. So that's one way to pay attention to and start to notice ed ending. Now, we're going to look at a book that has some more, a cute little book that has some more words with ed ending and see if you notice them. This is called Dinosaurs Long Ago, and I can see the little dinosaur footprints. Oh, wow. There's a flying dinosaur, maybe a pterodactyl, and oh, that's Stegosaurus. That was my favorite when I was a kid. Here we go. Long ago, dinosaurs ruled the earth. Ruled the earth. Okay, there, it's sounding like D, like D sound. Okay, let's go on. Oh, there's a leaf. Oh, and there's a dinosaur reaching up to munch on some leaves. Let's read. Some dinosaurs hunted. Oh, there's ed ending. Hunted, id. What sound is that making? That's making id sound, right? Hunted for meat. But the biggest dinosaurs munched on trees. Ooh, munched. What sound is that ed ending making? Say it. You could call it out and let's see if you're right. Did you say t? Yes, munched on trees. Okay, let's keep going. Oh, there's a little baby dinosaur getting ready to hatch out of an egg. Dinosaurs hatched from eggs. Oh, there's ed ending. What sound is that making? Did you say t, hatched from eggs? Baby dinosaurs stayed close to their nests for safety. Ooh, stayed. What sound is that making? Oh, right, D sound. It's actually our example. Okay, so there was another chance for us to look at and pay attention to ed ending and what they sound like. For our next activity, you could get out your whiteboard or just do this on a piece of paper and write d, t, and id at the top because we are going to sort some words by what their ending sounds like, what their ed ending sounds like. Here we go. The first word is visited. I visited my friend. Visited, id. What sound is that making? Short id, id. So I'm going to sort it over here, and you could just write visited under id. Here we go. Next one. The word is, go ahead and call it out. Worked. Right. Worked. I worked very hard. Did you hear the ending? Worked. T, t. What ending does that have? T. Right. So I'm going to sort that there. Next word. Here we go. Did you say played? Played. I played at Rocky Run Playground. Played. D, d. What sound is ed making? D. Exactly. So I'm going to sort it under D. And again, you could be writing these words in the correct column. The next word is, what does that say? Kicked. I kicked the ball very far. Kicked. T, t. What sound is ed making? T sound, right? So I'm going to put it right here. The next word is, what does that say? Planted. Yesterday I planted some seeds in the ground. Planted, id. Where would that go? I hope you said here, id, under id. Next word. Can you read it? Moved, d. Yesterday we moved houses. D. Where would that go? Yes, d, moved. Ed's making d sound. Next word. Did you read it? Liked. I liked chocolate ice cream. Now I like vanilla. Liked. T. What sound is it making? T. Exactly. Ed making t sound. Here's the next word. Read it. Did you say smelled? I smelled a beautiful flower. Smelled. D. What is the ending sound? D. Right, that goes over here. And finally, can you read this word? Ooh, this has to do with math. Here we go. Added. I added 2 plus 2. Added, id. Where would that go? Over here. Okay, so today we sorted all these words by their ending sound. They all end with ed, but they sound differently. And whenever we do a sorting activity, it's always a great job to reread all the words afterwards to practice your speedy reading. Here we go. So all these are going to end with d. Here we go. Played, moved, smelled. Okay, all these are going to end with t. Worked, kicked, liked. All these are going to end with id. Visited, planted, added. So today and moving forward in your reading, I want you to notice the words that end with ed and pay attention to getting the right sound. Off to your reading.